Welcome everyone to something a little new for the Lucky Porygon channel. Today I am breaking out of the Nuzlocking shell and instead focusing a little bit more on competitive battling, but of course with a twist. Realistically guys, I'm not much of a team builder or a competitive player, but in today's episode I will be randomizing 3 starter Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and choosing one of them to place on my randomized team. After 6 rounds of this, I will be building out my team in-game and taking part in a few random battles online, hoping to at least get a couple wins and maybe more importantly, learn a thing or two along the way. Without further ado guys, let's jump into our first round of randomized starters, and don't forget to subscribe and let me know if you think I made the best decisions possible through this video. Alright guys, and our first round of starters are Satitan, Annihilape, and Ceruledge. Now, I gotta be honest, I love all of these Pokemon. Obviously the Ice type on Satitan is really good, but it's also really easy to take out Ice types, so I feel like that's a definite no. I gotta be honest though, Ceruledge is my favorite of these 3, but I actually think Annihilape is probably the best option. Fighting a Ghost type, absolutely insane. It's also, if I'm not mistaken, a pretty good competitive battler anyway. I think this has to be the pick, and I can't wait to see what it turns out to look like. Alright guys, and here is Aaron, our Annihilape. Now, this thing is named after Aaron Gillespie, the drummer for Under Oath. If you don't know, you should definitely check him out. He's a great drummer, but I did actually train this guy up in a very specific way. It's fairly standard, I will say. Definitely up in that special defense and HP as well. We want him to be as bulky as possible because we want that Drain Punch to be able to bring back as much HP as we can. We went Resto Chesto with this as well, so that way if we do get really low on HP, we can always just rest up and get a lot of that HP back. Chesto Berry, of course, is going to heal off that sleep right away, and then we're good to go. So this thing is really bulky and very offensive with Rage Fist and Drain Punch plus the bulk up. Truthfully guys, we just want to be able to get one bulk up off. If we get hit with a move and Defiant triggers, our attack is going to be skyrocketing guys. So this is definitely a huge physical offensive threat. Definitely went with that Terra Fairy type, really just to nullify a few of the weaknesses here. But in general, I think this is just going to be one of the biggest damage dealers on the team. Alright guys, round number 2, and this is kind of a crazy one. So we actually have Metatite, we have a Ninetales, and we have a Charcadet. Now, worth noting at this point, we can fully evolve these Pokemon. We don't have to use their pre-evolution forms. So we actually can use Charcadet here and get a Ceruledge if we want. That Ninetales is also looking pretty interesting though, and honestly, I'm gonna shy away from the Metatite only because we've already got that fighting type. I think for this one, I am gonna go Ghost type once again. We are gonna choose the Charcadet, planning to use it as a Ceruledge, which in my opinion is definitely the cooler, but probably also better of the two. I think this could be a really interesting one, but we do have to be really careful with doubling up on that Ghost type. Next up guys, we have Arthur the Ceruledge. I did name this one after King Arthur. I don't know why. I may not have even spelled it right, but it's fine. I really love Ceruledge, so I'm really happy to see it on the team here. This also is kind of a big offensive threat, right? Like this kind of plays the same role as Annihilape, just with some different typings. We went Terra Dark on this one, again, really to nullify a few threats, but more importantly, to boost that Night Slash if we happen to find ourselves in a situation where that's worthwhile. We did go Focus Sash on this, so we can Swords Dance right away. We are max attack and max HP. That's actually just because I already had this one built, which was actually more for Terra Raid Dens, but I was like, you know what, we're just gonna run this one and see what happens. It does have that weak armor, so our speed could go really high, and I'm kind of curious to see how that goes as well, but we do have Shadow Sneak for priority. Of course, Bitter Blade is really gonna be the move that we want to use because that acts as this Pokemon's Drain Punch. It's gonna bring back some of that HP and really keep us in a really healthy position as we try and sweep the opposing team. Alright guys, round number 3, and we have a Sandslash, a Nuzleaf, and a Tinkatank. Definitely an interesting round, and I actually would love any of these. I know Sandslash isn't really that good, but it's actually one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. I think design-wise, it's really cool. It's just not all that good. I think obviously Shiftry would be awesome, but Shiftry actually doesn't overperform, at least in my experience. And so generally I lean towards the Tinkatank. Obviously gonna make that a Tinkaton. That Fairy Steel type is absolutely massive, one of the best typings in the game. And of course having a Fairy type on the team is gonna hit really hard against a lot of types. This was an interesting one. We have Karen the Tinkaton, and yes, I did go Karen because, I don't know, man, it just looks like a Karen to me. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm being silly, but I mean, come on, it looks like a Karen. Anyway, it actually is playing a very Karen role on the team as well. So normally, because we've already got two really strong attackers, I didn't really want to go full attacking on this either. Instead, I thought it'd be best to go a little bit more of a support mon, and really as a general lead Pokemon, because this thing's typing and speed is really, really good. It's also fairly bulky with some investment in that HP as well, and we do have Terra Dark if we need it just to kind of get out of range of some stuff or boost up our knockoff. So this is actually our Stealth Rock and Thunder Wave user, the idea being that we can hopefully get some hacks off or some damage off on the opposing team. Because we are so bulky and because of our typing being very defensive, we tend to be really, really good at taking hits, and so we can kind of soak up some damage in the first turn or two, hopefully getting some Stealth Rocks, getting a knockoff off on one of their Pokemon. Maybe they U-turn out, we get a knockoff on another one, whatever it might be. And then of course we do have Gigaton Hammer on there if we need it to really, really take down some opposing Pokemon, deal with those fairy types, that kind of thing. But in general, this is very much a support Pokemon, and I'm really stoked to see how this goes. All right, guys, for the next round, we have Brute Bonnet, Tatsugiri, and Noctowl. Now, this is probably the easiest decision so far. Brute Bonnet seems like the obvious pick here. I gotta be honest, Tatsugiri without Dundozo guaranteed doesn't really feel like it's all that good, although the Dragon Water type is definitely pretty cool. But Noctowl also just isn't that great. Normal flying, definitely weak to a lot of things. Not my favorite. So I'm gonna go Brute Bonnet, Grass Dark type here. Definitely a good addition to our squad. All right, guys, this might be the most exciting Pokemon on the team for me. I really love Brute Bonnet. I've always really liked Brute Bonnet. I don't know why. I love the Grass Dark typing. I think it's really, really sick. We named this one Totoro because for some reason this reminds me of the little umbrella on My Neighbor Totoro. Not really sure why, but I love it. Whoops, there we go. So this is a really interesting one because it is so defensively bulky. We've got two really defensive threats, one you'll see later, but this is really the big one. It definitely is invested in that defense and HP, so it's really, I mean, no matter what they have physically speaking, we should be able to at least take a hit. We do have the heavy duty boots here. That's really going to get us out of range of any of the Stealth Rocks or Spikes, anything like that. Terra Water, again, really a defensive Terra type. We really didn't need anything too offensive because this isn't really our offensive threat. We do have Synthesis and Spore, so we can heal up and Spore things if we need to. Seed Bomb is really our big damaging move, and then Sucker Punch, because this thing isn't very fast, gives us some priority. Now, we do obviously risk missing on that Sucker Punch, but I still think this is a really solid mon. And again, I'm really stoked to use this. For some reason, I just think this is such a cool Pokemon. Next to last round here, guys, and this one is incredible. We have Lucario, we have Dragapult, and we have Ceruledge, all of which are incredible Pokemon. Now, obviously, we already have a Ceruledge on the team, so no need to choose that. Definitely between the Dragapult and Lucario, and either way we go, we're gonna be doubling up on some typings. So the question is, what is the best typing to double up on here? I kind of lean towards Lucario, mostly because I know Lucario a little bit better. Now, I know we're already a little bit on the physical side, especially with Pokemon like Tinkaton on the team, but I think this is just a really good Pokemon in general, and obviously I think we can do a lot with it, so let's see what we can rock with in this episode. All right, guys, next to last Pokemon, and yes, it is another physical attacker. We have Lucario. Now, Lucario is really interesting. I didn't nickname this only because I can't. This is actually an event mon, hence the shiny, but I really love Lucario, and so I'm really stoked to have this on the team. Obviously fighting Steel type, so really, really powerful typing. We'll kind of see, based on how we or what Pokemon our opponents will have, we'll obviously choose our offensive and defensive threats based on that. And I'll kind of talk about our team as we go into that. But this is Terra type normal. That's really going to boost up the E-speed on this. We do have Close Combat, Meteor Mash, and then of course Swords Dance. This thing is fast. This thing hits like a truck, and it's really, really going to do some damage to the opposing team. It does have Inner Focus as well, a really good ability. I don't know. I love Lucario a lot. I don't know how useful it's going to be. I think we're going to kind of see a really interesting take where we've got either Annihilate, Ceruledge, or Lucario coming. Probably not all three. But in general, I think this is just a really powerful mon, and again, a very good offensive threat. That E-speed giving some priority as well is always awesome. Sixth and final round, guys, and here we go. Let's see what we've got. It looks like we've got an interesting one here as well. We've got Garganacl, we've got Gimmighoul, and we've got Bombardier. Now, Gimmighoul is by far and away the best of these three Pokemon. I think that's very clear, but definitely repeat typings for us on both ends. So I don't actually think we're gonna go with the Gimmighoul here. It's either Garganacl or Bombardier, and I actually lean towards the Garganacl in a weird way. I've never used this Pokemon. It's honestly one of my least favorite in terms of design, but I kind of want to see what we can rock with today. So I'm gonna give this one a shot. We're gonna see what we can do. Hopefully it turns out strong. All right, guys, last but not least, we have Sphinx, the Garganacl. Now, this is a Pokemon I have literally never used, and I'm pretty excited to try it. I actually do like Garganacl. It's a pretty useful Pokemon with things like Salt Cure, which we do run on this one. This is also a setup mon. It's a curse set on this, and we do of course have Recover as well with the leftovers. So this is a really interesting one. This is more of a special defense wall, and it's I guess it's more of just a general defensive wall. I don't really know the best way to phrase that, but it's got so much defense, both special and physical, that this thing should be able to take hits all day. We curse up, recover up, leftovers is really going to help us out, and then we can just Salt Cure or EQ basically everything. Salt Cure of course is going to do basically a set amount of damage, if I'm not mistaken. That's how it works, and so it's really more of a damage over time, whereas Earthquake is really just the end all be all move, hopefully. Obviously Terra type Water here, that really is just to nullify some of the typings that can really do a lot of damage to us. I don't know how useful that will be. This isn't really the Pokemon I want to Terra, but it's certainly there. And so I'm really curious, guys. This is going to be interesting. I think as we jump into the battles, what we'll probably see is one really good offensive threat, probably Tinkaton on almost every lead, and then of course one really strong defensive threat, whether it's this or Brute Bonnet. I don't really know. So all that being said, guys, we are going to jump into a couple of casual battles and see how things go as I learn how to competitively battle Pokemon. All right, guys, here we are for battle number one. Now, I need to stress a few things as we jump into this one. I have never done competitive battling, and two, I've got a lot to learn in general. I don't really know what's good. I don't know what's not good, but I do know that the game plan is pretty straightforward. We are going to shoot for Karen up front, and then we're actually going to look and see what kind of Pokemon is going to be best suited to handle some of these other types that we do see on the team. And I kind of am leaning towards Aaron, I think. So Karen is the lead because of that Stealth Rocks, the Thunder Wave, the knockoff is just going to be good against pretty much everything. And I think from there, it's more about defense after having Aaron on the squad. So I'm actually going to go Totoro. And I think this is right. So you guys give me a heads up. What did I do wrong throughout this video? I'm sure there's quite a bit, but definitely let me know in the comment section, because again, this is a learning experience for me. We're going to have 3 casual battles for this video. So we're going to jump into this first one and see how things go. I'm optimistic. I really don't know what to expect here. But again, we do have a game plan, so I'm going to stick to it and try and execute as best I can. And we'll see what happens as we go. But look at Tinkaton's hammer. It's so massive. Karen, let's go. All right, so we do have that air balloon that's going to prevent ground type moves doing too much damage. I kind of just want to knock off. Thunder Wave is probably not a safe bet. And Stealth Rock is probably like pretty good as well, but let's see what knockoff does. I just realized, let me, boop, there we go. Let me move myself a little bit as we jump into this, and there we go, awesome. That way you guys can kind of see everything, but I think this, the knockoff actually did quite a bit of damage. Do we just... I'm gonna Stealth Rock as well. I don't think this thing can do that much to us. It does have Bullet Punch. Obviously, priority is gonna be really, really good. We do pop that air balloon, which is not great for us, but I think we're in pretty good shape here in general, actually. So I think they're just gonna keep going for that Bullet Punch, potentially. So my question is, do we just Terra Dark right away? Is that worth it? You know what? We're gonna try it. I don't know if this is worth it. If they switch, obviously, okay, it looks like they didn't. So this just means that we're gonna get a Terra Dark knockoff straight into this Metagross here. It should do a chunk. I mean, we already did a chunk without being Terra'd here. I don't know what they go for. It might just be the Bullet Punch again. No, they didn't go for the Bullet Punch. Okay, I'm curious then. This being part Psychic, that did so little. Being part Psychic type, excuse me. Okay, so they're gonna knock off as well. Didn't do anything because we already, of course, had the our air balloon popped, so that wasn't really a problem. That is gonna do a lot to us. And this is the point where I am gonna be showing how novice I am at this, because I don't know in this instance if it's worth it to go ahead and swap or to stick in it. And I'm gonna try and just stick in it. I don't know. We have the super effective hit here. They do have Stealth Rocks up. And so at this point, like, we can't avoid that unless we swap, of course, into, oh, they're definitely gonna, Do we try and get the clean switch in is the question. So obviously we can go into Aaron or we can go into Totoro. I think actually Totoro is really good here. But I kind of do want the clean switch in because realistically, Karen goes down no matter what here. So I'm gonna just knock off. We get the attack off first. So that means they didn't go for Bullet Punch. Why would they not? Even, like, that was a clear Bullet Punch, right? That had to have been. That was insane. All right, it's fine. We got a kill here. That is actually pretty awesome. So at the very least, we didn't just completely throw. Quaquaval is the next one. Is that the name of this thing? I hate this Pokemon, I'm gonna be honest. So again, this thing is, it very well could just be able to do some major damage to us here. I don't know. I'm gonna knock off again. We're Terra Dark again. It's stab, it's knockoff, so it's gonna get rid of an item here, hopefully. This is casual. Sometimes I guess you could, yeah, it's a life orb. So that's gonna at least limit the amount of damage that this thing can do. Obviously it can still do a lot, but it does get the speed raising. That's fine. And I actually just think we go into Totoro here. And it might be that we Spore. I think, oh, it has Moxie. Oh my gosh, that's so insane. So it might just be Spore here is the right answer. I really don't know. But I do think being able to get either this or the, God, this thing is massive. Spore just feels like the safest bet. So it's gonna CC, that probably kills, right? Dang. Dang, oh, that hurt. Okay, well, I guess I should, this is the learning experience. I don't know what the moves are, guys. I just don't really know. And so for me, this is definitely interesting. I wish I had T-Waved. I don't know if it would have been slow enough after T-Wave. I really have no clue. But that would have been pretty awesome. So, let's see. So it is physical. I am gonna bulk up. I'm gonna try for it. There comes the Terra. Okay, so let's see what it ends up being. We are bulky. Remember, we are a very bulky mon, but this thing does have Moxie set up. It's gonna Aqua Step here. It has to, especially after that Terra. There's no way it doesn't. It's already, I mean, speed-wise, it is off the charts here. I think we just lose, but you know what? This has been an interesting battle. Yeah, it just totally demolished us. Okay, so unfortunately not a great start. We did get one knockout, which I feel pretty good about. So we're gonna jump into game 2. Hopefully we can get a win. Thank you so much for this battle, by the way. I really do appreciate it. All right, guys, battle number 2. Let's see if we can do a little bit better here against Sin. Sin, thank you so much in advance for the battle. I really do appreciate it. It's an absolute pleasure, by the way, guys, to be jumping into these battles. They're really fun. I'm not great. I just will say, I know I'm not great at this, but I want to learn. This is an area of the game where I feel like I could really, I could have a lot to go off of here and hopefully learn as we go. So I'm excited for this. I wonder, I think Sphinx is actually gonna be potentially good against this team. And then I think is it Aaron again? No, it's not Aaron, right? It's probably Cerule Edge. The fighting type doesn't do super well against a lot of these, so we're just gonna try again. You guys are seeing everything. You know how this goes. We're gonna do the best we can and see what we can make happen. I do still love, I mean, almost always I feel like Karen as the lead is just so good. because it can set up those entry hazards early, or it can get a nice quick knockoff. It can really do a lot. Look at that beautiful Lapras from Sin. Oh my goodness. I do love Lapras. It's one of my favorite water type Pokemon from Gen 1 in particular. It's just so cool. All right, so little nervous about this. I am gonna knock off immediately. They withdraw right away. Okay. That's interesting. The reliable partner. What is this? Oh, it's Ogerpon. Okay. Mold Breaker, that's fine. Knockoff, let's see how much this does. Probably not a lot, but that's okay. And it doesn't actually have an item. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna Stealth Rock here. There's the Terra right away. Wow. Ogerpon is one of like just the best competitive Pokemon from my knowledge, so I imagine this is just a really good Pokemon to have anyway. But I'm really curious about this actually. And I kind of want to, there's the Embody aspect. Yep. Okay. We do get the Stealth Rock up. Again, I don't know if that's super helpful, but I mean, I feel like it probably is, right? So we know they have Lapras. There's the Ivy Cudgel, sure. I don't know how much this is gonna do. All of the damage. It does all of the damage. Oh my gosh. Okay. Cool. Guys, I have a feeling these early battles are gonna be a lot of this where I am just going to lose a lot. And that's fine. We're gonna make the best of it here. That's terrifying. I don't know what the best option is here. Part of me just wants to go for the EQ. We could Terra Water, but I don't actually think that's what we want. We could Curse. I mean, we definitely could try for the Curse. It's ambitious. I'm gonna just EQ and see what we can do. There's the Horn Leech. Yeah, it's gonna... Wow, we lived! Oh my gosh! I am amazed that we lived, but unfortunately that is gonna be really bad for our team pretty much all the way through. Okay, that actually did quite a bit. We do get the Leftovers pop, which is nice. I kind of want a Cerulege now? Is that right? Oh, I don't know. Okay, let's just try. Because obviously Sphinx goes down here to the Horn Leech, so I don't think there's a better option. I'm guessing we just lose. I will say too, being on the casual end of things, we could be up against any and everything, and so it's always going to be a little tricky to know what the best option is, at least for me. I don't know, guys, we're learning. Okay, our speed sharply risen. That's excellent. I actually think we go for the Terra Night Slash here. I think it's just the most powerful move after Terra. It is neutral, so it's going to do a little bit more, of course, than Bitter Blade. I would love to Bitter Blade here, but I just don't think it will work. And so I'm going to do the best we can. We got it. Yes, this will win 100%. I do really love Weak Armor on Arthur here. It does a lot for raising our speed. I wish we could... Oh... Well, all right, we are dead again. Guys, these early episodes of this series, which I do hope, by the way, to make this a series. This is something I kind of want to learn more. As I said, I want to learn more on the competitive side. I'm not a competitive battler at all, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video here. We'll try for the recover, but it's not going to happen. But I do want to learn about this. So these first few episodes are going to be absolutely garbage, no doubt. But we are learning together. Let me know in the comments what I did wrong in this one, because I'm sure there's a lot. And let's jump into the third battle. Unfortunately, Sin did take us down. Sin, thank you again for the battle. I really do appreciate it. All right, guys, third and final battle of this very first episode against Unome. I hope you know me. Regardless, thank you so much for being here and having this battle with us. I have no clue what we're gonna do here. Okay, so Sphinx is interesting because against the Aqua Step, we can actually Terra. It's fairly good against most of this team. I'm gonna always lead you. I don't know if that's right, but we are always leading you. I just feel like it's maybe worth a shot. It could be... I do kind of lean towards Aaron here. It's gonna be really good against a lot of these in general. Yeah, I think it's just Aaron. I hate we're not bringing Lucario at all so far, but you know, that's okay. We're just gonna give it a shot. Let's see what we can do. And let me know too, guys. I don't know if Karen is even that good. Like, I don't even know if Karen should be here, but we're randomizing these teams, so it's got to be a little challenging, right? All right, let's do it. We're starting on the back foot. Let's pin church in. Okay, so I assume this is going to be a really like hazard setty kind of mon. I don't really know. No clue. So we're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. There's the electric surge. Definitely makes sense. I assume this is gonna be really good for the quirk drive. I really want to read a switch, but I know it's not the right thing. I am just gonna stealth rock. Okay, we do get the stealth rock off. It looks like they didn't switch. That's probably good for us. Stealth rock, I think, is pretty good against a lot of their team. There's the discharge, that's fine. And it does kind of a lot. And they get the para! Oh my gosh. Seriously. Air balloon popped, sure, that's fine. I really wish we could, like, know that they have a Garchomp. Oh, we still outspeed. I wish that I knew that they had the Garchomp on the team. Not that I think it would make a huge difference, but I think I would maybe play this a bit differently. I'm gonna go for the Gigaton Hammer. Of course, that's fine. So discharge coming through once. No, it's a Zing Zap. Okay, that's gonna do it. Interesting. All right, so now what? I mean, it's gotta be you, right? This thing is super slow. So there is a world where we just EQ and get a lot of damage off. We could also try for the curse. I'm just gonna EQ. I'm gonna be safe. We do outspeed. This is super effective. I have to imagine that's still, our attack is garbage. It has bubble beam. Okay, so here's what we can do. We can attempt to do. So we know, or most likely they're gonna go for the bubble beam again, right? I think that's fair to say because obviously that's the super effective move. So I think we Terra and we EQ. And we're just gonna see what happens. I think this is a smart play. You guys let me know how not smart of a play this is. I think this is smart, right? Because they have to go for the bubble beam. There's no way they discharge here. Unless they're fishing for a para, but I have to imagine it's reversal. Oh, I'm so glad we Terra'd. Oh my gosh, okay, it was a good call. So can we take this thing out? Yes, okay, we got the pinch urchin out. We got a kill, let's go. This is so bad, guys. I'm so sorry you're sitting through this. No, it's fine. It's not worth apologizing. We are gonna make this, this will work. I believe in us. All right, the electric terrain did disappear. I'm curious what they go out to next because I think typing wise, that was actually a pretty big threat. And we do still have Aaron in the back who hits like a truck. So we are gonna see what happens. Maybe they disconnected. Maybe that's how we get our first win. I will be amazed if we get a win in any of these first episodes, guys, I'll be honest. I would love, by the way, in one of these episodes to have like a coach or somebody to battle against. I think that would be a really fun thing. This is sort of as an episode structure or as a series structure. It's pretty similar to the Then We Fights from Shady, Dill, all them. But obviously I don't have somebody to battle with as of right now. And so that's why I'm doing it this way. If in the future I am able to collaborate on some videos, I would more than be, I would absolutely love to be able to work with somebody. There's the Skeledirge. Okay, so the rocks actually do a pretty decent chunk here. It's obviously gonna outspeed us. Do we just go for the earthquake? I think so. We just hope. We poke and hope. That's all we can do. That's a disc golf derm for you non-disc golfers out there. I will say, I think Sphinx was a good bring. Yeah, I think Sphinx was a good bring. I feel strongly about that. They are taking a bit to make their move, which is totally fine. That just means you and I get to sit here and chat, guys. Do leave some love down below. If you guys are enjoying this, even though it is just going to be an absolute massacre against me, if you guys are enjoying this or want to see more of this kind of stuff, let me know, because I do want to diversify a little bit on the channel. This is one way I think we can do it. And so I'm pretty excited. Oh, it cursed. Oh. Okay, EQ is gonna take it out now. It has to. Yeah. That was a very interesting call. We got a crit. Okay. But I do kind of want to diversify on the channel a little bit. I do love Nuzlocke content. I have no intention of getting rid of that. But I just want to see what else we can do and maybe try and get, you know, some new people in that haven't really seen what we're about yet. And so this is just one way to do it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And you guys can have an absolute blast in the comment section just roasting my calls, because let's be honest, they could probably be better. But I think this could be like a once a week series, maybe. I haven't figured out the timeline yet, guys. We'll figure it out as we go, of course. But I'm really excited for this. This is something different. So we'll give it a shot. This is the first one. I have no clue what to expect. I really just want to release this as soon as possible, but I think it might be best to do it on like Sunday. So I'll probably do that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right. One more Pokemon left. We still have 2. Granted, one of ours is of course cursed. Now I think we can swap out and nix the curse, so that might be an option. But we do of course then have to worry about Aaron taking a hit needlessly. So we will see. Worth noting as well, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, I am not calcing anything. We're just giving this a shot and seeing what we can do. Those rocks did a lot for us, I think, in this this run. There's the Quirk Drive. We did know that was going to happen, of course. This thing is wicked fast, and I really have no clue what it can do. I am going to shoot for the Salt Cure here. Assuming we live, this will do damage over time. They can't swap out. This is the last mon, so I do think this is our best bet of getting some long-term damage off with Sphinx. And then at that point, we can just use Aaron to hopefully knock it out. It's gonna be fast, guys, so I really don't know what we can do. And I also don't know if this thing... I know this is a scary mon. I have no clue what to expect from it because I don't know competitive battling at all. I feel so out of, like a fish out of water entirely with this kind of stuff. And so I feel like this is gonna be a learning experience. All right, let's see what they do. I do really like Iron Bundle. It's a cute little mon, and it makes Delibird cool. You know what I mean? I know it's a Delibird like future form, but it's still, it's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. There's the Freeze Dry, okay. We do live, which means we are gonna get the Salt Cure off. I kind of wish I had recovered there, but this is actually kind of fine. So again, this is going to do damage over time. I think even if our Sphinx goes down here, that still does damage. We're gonna find that out. Again, this is what I mean by we're learning a lot. We're gonna learn exactly how this works as we go. All right, cool. So Sphinx does go down. We anticipated that. That's fine. Sphinx did so much in this battle. Such a good bring for us. I'm really happy we did that. There's the Salt Cure. Okay, so that does work. That's huge. That is massive. All right, so we 100% just go out into Aaron here. I don't know. Well, it had the booster energy, right? So we know that was the case. I am just going to Drain Punch here. I don't think... No matter what I do, I think this battle is decided based on what they do. If they somehow knock us out in this turn, they win. If they don't, I think they just lose because of Salt Cure regardless. Now, obviously Drain Punch is going to do a lot of damage, I anticipate at least. So I think we might be in with it a shout. We'll see. But maybe we can get a win to finish up this battle, or this episode. This first episode, if we can get a win in this one, I would be very, very stoked. I really like doing this. This is so fun. I love random teams too. I think it's such a blast to like just put together a random team of Pokemon and see what we can do. And we get to use stuff like Garganackle, which, I mean, my gosh, that was a great choice for this battle. It worked out beautifully. And so that was a really nice little turn of events there for us. I'm happy to say that. All right. I mean, it's down to this, guys. There's the freeze dry. That shouldn't take us out. Not even close. Guys, we got a win. Yes, come on. The first episode of this series. Let me know what you guys think. We did get a win. Thank you so much for this battle. You know me. I really do appreciate it. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Guys, we did it. That was excellent. I'm so happy we got a win. And I just want to say again, thank you guys so much for the support on this channel. Make sure to leave some love and some comments down below. Let me know what I did wrong. Leave a list, timestamp if you need. I know there's a lot. We are going to learn competitive battling together, guys, and I can't wait. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next episode.